My name is Courtney Barnes. I am a fifth year at Iowa State, and this is my God story. During middle school, they decided that my best friend that I had grew up with was no longer allowed in the church. They said her family wasn't practicing good Christian values, so they kicked her out. So I refused to go to church after that, and because of that, I resented God for it and everything that had to do with the church. 5 days before my 15th birthday, I lost my virginity to a guy that I thought I was in love with. And 15, obviously, I didn't know right from wrong then and didn't care what I had learned in church because I thought the church was against me and I thought God was against me. Went through high school as kind of the typical popular girl in high school. I was in every sport. I was good at every sport. I had a loving, caring family, but church wasn't a part of that life. I cheered for Iowa State for the first 4 years, and that just overtook my life. Sexual sin, boy after boy, long-term relationship, short-term relationship, alcohol, anything that has to do with that, I was your typical party girl. I met a guy that I thought I was in love with. I dated him for 2 years, and towards the latter end of the relationship, I found out he was married. When I was told, I didn't know what to do. I went into a deep depression and didn't really get too far out of it, and continued to date him for 3 months because I couldn't get out of it and didn't know how to tell people about it. In March, over spring break, my best friend talked me into taking a road trip. We decided on the last day to go skiing. And while we were skiing, second run of the day, I wipe out cold and end up in the emergency room. And they got me back to Iowa literally as fast as possible, and I had to have immediate surgery. I had no feeling from the hips down. I had tore all 4 ligaments in my left knee and 2 in my right knee at the same time. After spring break is kind of when it hit me that I can't live this life. I had been dating a married man. Now physically I'm not capable to do the job that I thought I loved and wanted to do. And I just sat in my room through rehab on all sorts of pain medications and depression medication. While sitting there, I attempted suicide multiple times, put myself back in the hospital on so many drugs as far as like pain relievers and medical relievers that I didn't know my own name. So I got a sit-down job at the state fair, and I was sitting in the office one day and I had a guy that I didn't know walk into the office, pretty attractive, so of course I'm looking at him, and he has a cut-off sleeve shirt on and it had a tattoo on his ribs. And by nature and curiosity, I ask what the tattoo means, and he looks me up and down and stares me directly in the eyes and asks me if I know who Jesus is. And I said, no, not as well as I should. And he showed me the tattoo and explained that it was a testimony to his best friend that had just recently committed suicide. Completely woke me up that day. And I didn't sleep at all that night. I just remembering how powerful that was, because 2 weeks prior to that I was in the hospital because I tried to. Go back to work, and the girl next to me props her feet up on the desk and she has a tattoo on her foot. I should have known better, but I still asked. And I asked her what her tattoo meant, and she said it means beautiful. I was like, oh, great. And she goes, yeah, it's in Hebrew. I was like, dang it, I know the Bible's written in Hebrew. So that was kind of funny. And this is the second day that I had actually left my room in like 4 months. So 2 things right off the bat. Then on the 3rd day, I had to go back home to have physical therapy again. And I went home, and I had moved into a new house. So I went to look at new roommates, new living situation. I thought that would help with everything I was going through. So I went and looked at the other rooms and the other roommates, and one was all decorated, really, really nice. Then I went into the other one, and when I opened the door, there were multiple crosses on the wall. There was a picture of Jesus, there was a picture of the Virgin Mary, all over a room. It was a sign. I sat down in the middle of a room for a good 45 minutes just looking at everything and taking a bunch of deep breaths because I had no idea. 3 days in a row, like, what is he trying to tell me? I haven't had him in my life since I was 14. Like, why now? What is he trying to tell me? And I hear the door open and I hear a girl's voice say, "Courtney, are you home?" And I said, "Yeah," and she's like, "Cool, I, for some reason, thought I should stop by and see if you wanted to go to church with me today." And I couldn't believe it, and I said, "Yeah, let me change." And so I changed and I came to Cornerstone for the very first time. For some reason in November, I literally got out of bed, got on the internet, and looked up the Cornerstone website and found where it said Women's Mentor Minister, and that was Jill. And emailed her and said, "I need help, can you meet me?" She emailed me within minutes back and said, "Sure, meet me at Panera." And that's the first time I've ever prayed in my life and gave my life to Jesus Christ then. After that meeting with Jill, I was on fire, completely on fire. I experienced my first real Christmas, which is beyond amazing. They were passing around the pamphlet that we always get at SALT, and it said something about baptisms. And I was like, I've confessed this from my mouth, and if I'm following Bible, now I believe it in my heart, I have to be baptized. And I've never been baptized. So I signed up and got baptized on February 15th here, and Troy baptized me, which was great. My life now is amazing. I couldn't ask for anything better. My name is Courtney Barnes, and this is my God story.